Jai Jinendra, everyone. Today, a very warm welcome to you. Today we are going to study about deciphering Jain scriptures. This is a continuation of last topic, where in earlier session we had learned that in three ways in which Jain scriptures are deciphered. So in this lecture, today we again have Vivek Bhaiya, who will continue this series and make us understand that what is the right way to understand our Janagams. Before I give mic to Bhaiya, let me briefly introduce you to the JEEV portal. JEEV is Jain English Educational Values, where we learn about Jainism in most simplest and easiest form so that we can apply in our daily lives. Over to you, Bhaiya. And how to access Jeev, I'll tell you in the later part. Bhaiya, please
Okay.
take steps.
Yeah, thank you. Let's start with the Mangalachara. Namo Arihantaram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Ayaniyaram, Namo Vajjayaram, Namo Loe Savvasaram, Eso Panchanamo Yaro Savapavapanasano, Manglanam Chasavesam, Padam Bhuhi Mangalam. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Mangalam Kundu Kundardyo, Jain Dharmostu Mangalam. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyam Karikam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmana, Jainam Jaitu Shashin, Jainam Jaitu Shashin. Okay, in the last lecture, so on this planet, there are n number of people, and basically we can say there are Ananta Jeev, and everybody wants to be happy. But very few people on this planet want to be like who knows the way how to be happy, and we are amongst them. In Chedala, um, Pandit Daulat Ramji says beautifully, जे त्रिभुवन में जीव अनंत सुख चाहे दुख ते भयवंत. It means on this planet everybody wants to be happy and everybody is feeling misery. So everybody wants to be happy. So how to become happy and how we can achieve liberation out of liberation from karma, liberation from bond. So how one can become liberate from this world? So there is a one axis is reading granth, reading gathas, reading scriptures. So there is a one like in reading, there's a criticality we can say that is very it is not easy to understand or not easy to you like you just read it like A for apple and B for ball. No, it is not like that. So there are some points which we have to understand, then only we can understand the scriptures. So in the last lecture, what we have discussed, let me share the screen. Okay. Okay. Let me share. Okay, so in the last lecture, we have started this chapter, Deciphering Scriptures, a guide to proper interpretation, शास्त्रों के अर्थ करने की पद्धति. How to read शास्त्र, how to take meaning out of the शास्त्र, and how we can do a meaningful swadhyay. So we started with this is introduction. The for those on a spiritual journey towards liberation, the first step involved the study of scriptures. So how to study scriptures? That is what we have started. Now, what are the challenges comprehending the scriptures? So not easy to understand true meanings, deep meaning, require careful introspection, various viewpoints, and appear contradictory and confuse new readers. So what to do? So role of spiritual guidance, we need some gurus, Muniraj, Granth, and the person who is well versed with this knowledge. Then only we can take out of it. So, so we have discussed Anikant and Shadwa, then the multi-faceted approach to reality. Then we have studied this point of view, Nai and Praman. Then we started with this guidance and statement of Updesh and Tattvakathan, right? So now we'll continue with the other thing. Like, okay, so the real and conventional point of view, the last point we have discussed is Nishya and Veva. Now we'll discuss this uh, teaching of guidance and statement of fact, Updesh Bodh and Tattva Bodh. And what is Updesh Bodh and Tattva Bodh? Teaching of guidance and statement of fact. Now, what is this? Okay. So let me explain. So teaching of guidance. Now, this is very important. And while I was reading, so many times when I started reading or doing Swadhyay in my school time, I was getting very confused. Sometimes they are saying Atma can't do anything, and sometimes they are saying you have to go to temple, you have to do this and that. So I was a bit confused what to do, whether to follow this what they are saying Atma can't do anything, Atma is a knower, not a doer, or should I go to temple? What they are saying, they do this, don't do that. So I was a bit confused. Then suddenly one day I was reading something and I come to know this point. So there are Uddeshatmak Kathan, there are Siddhantik Kathan, there are different kinds of teaching in or we can say guidance in Jinvani or scriptures. So first is Updesh Bodh. So what is Updesh Bodh? It is simply meaning as teaching of guidance. So they refer to a practical advice found in certain scriptures, which includes following the six essentials, that is Shatavashyak, worshipping idols, uh, Bhagwan को पूजना, reading scared text and self awareness जो भी हम read करते हैं. So basically उपदेश बोध are, they are generally giving our advice, or they are saying to us do this, like do go to temple, read scriptures, do Swadhyay, then follow the six essentials, then do puja and do Swadhyay. So these teaching are intended to inspire those who may be uh, practicing something and like so basically Updesh Bodhar, uh, this is inspiration. They are guiding us to do this and don't do these things. So there are do's and don'ts while they are giving Updesh Katham. The aim to divert mundane soul engaged in sins and vices towards virtues and ethical behavior. So basically Updeshatmak Kathan is something like one mother is giving advice to her son or a daughter that don't do this, you have to get up early in the morning, you have to do your things by your own. So that is Updeshatmak Kathan, right? And the next is Tattva Bodh. That is factual statement. What does it mean? So factual statement in certain scriptures emphasis that everything happens at its own predestined time and the soul is merely a knower, not a doer of events. So simply, this is the same thing is said by Albert Einstein, that when he was invented or doing some research or he discovered something, so he said, I can't invent anything. Things do not happen, they already exist and are seen on time machine. I can't do anything, I'm just a knower, not a doer. It just simply means when time comes, discovery automatic happens. So that is that this is called tattva. It does not mean he won't do anything or he won't now onwards he won't research or do something new. So so tattva bodh is something related to shraddha. So this teaching provide a calming effect on those who might be feeling impatient or despondent due to unexpected circumstances in life, helping them understand and accept the nature of event as they unfold. So whatever is happening around us, we are not able to accept it. So the tattva both the tattvic gyan gives us a clarity about our life, the things are happening around us. In one of the scriptures, that is I forgot the name of the Granth. Sorry. So there's one गाथा जन्म जस जम्मी देसे जम्मी काले कालम्बी जिस द्रव्य की जो पर्याय जिस काल में होनी है वो होके रहेगी. So it
योग
means
सारजी, maybe.
not Yogsarji. Kartikeya Nupreksha, Kartikeya Swami. So he said beautifully that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. You can't do anything and you can't change anything. So this teaching is not going to change anything outside or outer world, but it will give you or keep your mind calm, or you will be at certain level, you will be patient, and you will feel not exactly bad or good, but yeah, you will be in a calm position. So basically, this Tattva Bodh is giving to your Shraddha a right direction or right thinking, accepting things and situation around you easily. And the this Updesh Bodh is for inspiration and guidance, which we have to take from our gurus, our sastra that we need to follow. Like six essential is necessary for us. So different situation calls for different forms of guidance, and our scriptures are replete with messages that can both inspire and provide. So less depending on an individual's current state. So basically, so what's the difference? So we have to balance both the things. So Tattvabodh and Updesh Katan both are important in our life. So every individual has a different story, and every individual taking scriptures in a different way. But to understand the scriptures is very necessary and important. So Updesh Katan for inspiration and guidance, and Tattvabodh is for our making strong our Shraddha towards our religion, towards our scriptures, and towards our life. So that will make your life more better. Okay, so now the next, yeah. So general and specific statement. Now this is very important to understand, and we are explaining in a very simple and a short way, but every the techniques which we are using is of from many scriptures, this derived from that those scriptures. So we need to be understand very clearly that these are not normal things. One who wants to understand our scriptures or understand gatha, we need to understand these things, that what is Updesh Kathan, what is Tattva Bodh, now what is Samanya and Vishesh Kathan. So general and specific statement, now this is very important to understand. So some teachings are general, and while other have specific expectation that require careful interpretation. So there's one example, Sripati Muniraj story illustrate that discriminative knowledge is crucial even if one has limited memory of scripture. So there's one example of Sripati Muniraj. Muniraj was not able to even remember Namukar mantra. So what to do? So this example is given. This is Samanya Kathan. So if you don't, if you are not able to remember gathas or like paragraphs or whatever, stuti, so don't think that you can't do, you can't enter in dharam, or you can't do, um, or you can't read scriptures. So simply meaning is, if Sri Bhuti Muniraj can attain liberation without learning anything, even you can do that. That is Samanya Kathan. It does not mean we don't have to read. We should not be misinterpreted that uh, yeah, that's a good thing, and we become lazy. I don't want to learn anything. So as Sibhuti Muniraj have attended liberation, even I can do that. So the statement was Samanya for all those who can't read it. So it does not mean that we misinterpret it. So expectation and apply wisdom in interpretation is essential to avoid misunderstanding teaching. So Samanya and Vishesh Kathan we need to understand. Okay. So there are many things that we need to understand. Um, so what are these? Yeah, now some next is primary and secondary point of view. So before that, this previous slide, I want to give one example. Samanya and Vishesh Kathan. So whenever someone, our guru or some teachers are teaching us, they are saying something for some people. Like for Pancham Kal, it is very difficult. All people are said, it does not mean we can't be happy or we can't attend Samyak Darshan. Yeah, it is difficult. That is Samanya Kathan. But Vishesh Kathan is not like that. So what is Vishesh Kathan? Yeah, you can do by by yourself. So it is sometimes we say it is very difficult. Like Samaysar Gatha number 4. It says there's that इस जीव ने अनंत बार काम भोग बंधन की कथा सुनी है. So it is very difficult to attend सम्यक दर्शन. So that is सामान्य कथन. आचार्य भगवान is saying in सामान्य कथन से कह रहे हैं it is very difficult because our mind is so much occupied in विषय भोग or whatever we are doing in the world, like earning money or eating food or whatever we are doing throughout the day, 24 hours. So it is very difficult to attend Samyak Darshan. That is Samanya Kathan. But some individual or any Jeev who is very curious to know about his or her soul, that can attain. Even Pancham Kal doesn't matter because how you take it. So it is Samanya and Vishesh Kathan. So whenever it says Samanya Kathan, it applies to everyone. And when it says Vishesh Kathan, so there is something to understand. Okay. So now next is Mukhya and Gyan Kathan. So what is primary and secondary point of view? So as you can see in the picture, there's a one deer and that reflects very easily visible, and the other five deers are that are not clear. That the picture is blurred. So simple meaning is the painter or the person who wanted to say it like this deer is important, not right now that one. It does not mean we are ignoring someone or we are ignoring those 5 years. It simply means we want to right now we want to focus on this deer who is in the front. For example, let me read this. Some statements emphasize one aspect at the primary point of view while the other aspect remains hidden but not absent. This concealed aspect represent the secondary point of view. So I will give you one example. As we live in building or a society, so we have let's say in society we have 50 flats. So I will go in my flats. Let's say my flat number is 25. So I will enter in 25 number flat. That is mukhya for me. That is primary for me. It does not mean I don't like other flats. It simply means right now my flat is important for me. So it does not mean I'm ignoring other 49 flats. It simply means my flat is 25 number. That's why I'm entering in 25 flat or 25 number flat. So many scriptures emphasize that modification exists separately from the substance. Modification simply means is paryay and the substance means dravya. So in many granthas, it has been said that modification exists separately, means parya is different from dravya, helping seekers focus on the pure substance from self-realization. So it simply means parya is not me, I am dravya, jeev dravya. So parya is different and substance is different. So both are different. So sometimes the scriptures emphasis on modification to understand that modification means the parya is always changing. So there's a one quote beautifully it has been said that only one thing is permanent in this world, that is change, and that is what we call in Sastri Bhasha modification or a parinaman, paryay. So what is paryay? So when Acharya Bhagwan is emphasis on modification, they are saying don't focus on something which is regularly changing and it is not your in hand. From Anadikal to Anantkal, you can't be able to change anything. It is already changing. How you will be able to focus on that? Let's say today is a Wednesday, tomorrow is a Thursday. Can you do something for that? No, we can't do anything. That is modification. Today is a Wednesday, tomorrow is a Thursday. So don't focus on something you can't change. So Parya is going to change. So sometimes scriptures are focusing more on modification so that we have a clear idea. So the active consciousness primarily knows the substance with the experience of modification being hidden but not absent. So Dravya is there and Parya is also there. So as in the previous example, we said that one deer is mukhya and the other 5 deers are gone. Why they are gone? Because we want to right now focus on the main deer. This does not mean the substance and modification are entirely separate. It does not mean that it is totally different. Let's say we and understanding this helps prevent misinterpretation and the formation of false beliefs. Let's say we went to the or we are going to the gold shop, and the person, the couple who was about to buy something, and the shopkeeper showing that bangle, and the women was focusing on design, and she's focusing on the size and the designs and everything, and that person, the man, was focusing on the gold, pure gold, कितने का है वो, और वो कितने how much it cost, and the weight of gold. So he is more focusing, he's वो किसको मुख्य कर रहा है, gold को, and the lady was focusing on design and the whatever, I don't know more about the what they are focusing on. So basically, so designs and everything, the what are the right now the culture is going on, and which design is right now more in a trend. So the ladies will focus on that. So one is doing mukhya to gold, and the lady was doing mukhya to the design and everything. So it does not mean she is not focusing on gold. So right now she is not focusing on gold because she's more interested in design, and the man was more focusing on gold, not to the design and everything. Right? So when you are buying bangle or necklace, there will be both the things, like the color will be there, the design will be there, and the gold will be there, everything will be there. Okay, so this is how mukhya and gone kathan. So Acharya Bhagwan can't say everything in one sentence, so sometimes they um, prioritize something, and the other things, they are hidden, but they are there. Okay, so now the next step is to depiction through distinctions and wholeness, Ved or Abhed Vivaksha. So other scriptures focusing on self-realization, differentiating between the substance and its modification, viewing the soul as only a knower and a perceiver. That is Bhed Vivaksha. So you can see in the picture. So what is in the picture? So what is Bhed Vivaksha? So Bhed Vivaksha is two things. The one is the white picture is pure soul, and the other is Parya, that is modification. You can say that body or Rag Dvesh, whatever you want to say, the Parya. Okay, so the Bhed Vivaksha. So you can see the clear. There are two things. One is soul, and the other thing is Parya. That is, you can say body or a Rag Dvesh or Bhav Karma. So both are different. So ultimate answer is, or why they are saying in this way, because to understand they both are different. And when some scriptures present the substance as a complete entity, with the soul being the doer of both pure and impure modification, that is called abhed vivaksha. So what is abhed vivaksha? So Acharya Bhagwan saying in a different way that we are, as a human being, we are a soul, we are a dravya, we are a jeev. At the same time, we have a gun, Gyan gun, and then that Gyan gun has a paryay of knowing. Okay, so that is Abhed Vivaksha. In simple words, the same example I want to give here is that gold bangle. So when you differentiate the color, the design, and the gold, that is called Bhed Vivaksha. And when you see the whole bangle together, it's just about the perspective or the way you are seeing it to that bangle. So that bangle, the whole bangle is one, but there is a color, there is a shape, design, and at the same time there is a gold, a pure gold. Okay, so it's just from which angle you are seeing on that bangle, from Ved Vivaksha or Abhed Vivaksha. The same way, as a Jeev, we are, if we are focusing on only pure soul, yeah, so we can focus on pure soul, that is Mukhya Gone. And at the same time, there is a modification, like there is a Parya. It does not mean we are focusing on Jeev, the Parya will go. No, there will be Parya, but we are not focusing on right now modification. So that is called Abhed Bhed Vivaksha. And when we see ourselves as a whole, Dravya Gun Paryay Pura, Praman Vali Vastu. So that is called Abhed Vivaksha. Okay, so now this differing views may seem contradictory, but both are true within their respective contexts and perspectives. Understanding the underlying purpose and viewpoint of each statement helps resolve any apparent conflicts or confusion. Yeah, so it's just a point of view from which angle we are looking at it. So pure soul modification, and the we are looking from Bhed Vivaksha. So yeah, Abhed Vivaksha, we will see the things wholly, completely, substance, attributes, and modification. Okay, so many times what we do in our day-to-day life, we are doing this. So suppose there is one teacher in school who want to teach students. So he separates students, like girls sit on the left side, boys will sit on the right side, right? So what he is doing from Ved Vivaksha. So these are the girls, these are the boys. So when he will see in a different way that this all girls are boys, both are student. So you all are a student. It means he is looking from a Abhed Vivaksha. At the same time, he knows that these 20 there are 20 boys and 20 girls. So when he want to separate those boy student, he will say please sit this 20 student 20 boys on the right side and 20 girls on the left side. Then he has to apply this bhed vivaksha. And when he want to see as a whole, then he will say what he will say, these are 40 students, and he knows that there are 20 girls and 20 boys. So it simply means what I want to right now focus on. So this is simple meaning is Bhed and Abhed Vivaksha. So when you want to see yourself, you can see from Bhed point of view and Abhed point of view. Now come to the um, myself. If I see myself, so I have a Dravya Gun Paryay. So I am a Jeev Dravya, I have a Gyan Gun, and at the same time, I'm every time I'm knowing. So this is called Paryay. So this is Bhed Vivaksha. So when I say Abhed Vivaksha, so I will see it wholly that I am a Dravya Gun Paryay ka pura pind. So who am I? So I am a Dravya Gun Paryay together. So when I want to see only Paryay, I will focus on Paryay from Bhed point of view. But right now I want to see myself wholly. I'm complete, I'm whole, perfect and complete. So who am I? I'm a Jeev, I'm a Jeev Tattva, I'm a Jeev Dravya. So I'm seeing myself as a whole, complete, and perfect. So that is called Drashtika Vishya. So I'm focusing myself. At the same time, I know there is a Parya, there is a Gyan Gun. So right now, I'm seeing myself as a Gyan Mai Tattva. So I am Gyan Mai Tattva. So I'm focusing there. So that is called Abhed Vivaksha. Now, universal science versus spiritual science. What is that? Agam and Adhyatma. So this is very important to understand. Yesterday I was taking one class and I was distinguishing this thing that we should be like we should balance Agam and Adhyatma. The person who is only into Adhyatma will lead to Nishyavasi. Generally, I'm not saying this is rule, but generally it happens because let me first read it. Universal science, canonical text that is called Agam, elucidate the mechanics of the universe and the characteristics of all six substances with the intent of dispelling misconceptions. So what Agam says, so Agam basically explain theory. So there are six substance, sat tattva, and he will simply say it whatever there in three lok. Okay, and the spiritual science, a spiritual text that is called Adhyatma, conversely seek to explain the nature of the pure soul element, whose realization leads to right belief. So basically, it is all about right belief, spiritual science. So what is the difference between Agam and Adhyatma? So Agam is theory, and Adhyatma is something, whatever you have read from Agam, you are applying practically in your life. That is called Adhyatma. So both describe the soul or chi from their own perspectives, and understanding should be approached accordingly. So let's say I have read from Agam that everything is pre-decided, or there are six substances, or I have read that एक द्रव्य दूसरे द्रव्य का कुछ नहीं कर सकता. So that is Agam. And how Adhyatma will come in picture? So Adhyatma means we are applying in day to day life, and we are realizing that, oh, this is true. One can't help anyone. So एक द्रव्य दूसरे द्रव्य का कुछ नहीं कर सकता, and we can see in our life, like I can't help my servant, I can't help, even servant can't help me. Like when I'm ill, I'm on bed, and my mom wants to help me. So she can give me medicines, she can give me milk, or but she can't take my pain, the pain which is happening in my body. She can't take it. It simply means one द्रव्य can't do anything for the other द्रव्य. एक द्रव्य दूसरे द्रव्य का कुछ नहीं कर सकता. And experiencing that siddhant from Agam, which we have read from Agam, and we are realizing that that is called Adhyatam. So basically, Agam is theory, and Adhyatma is we are practically applying in our life. Okay, so now this is Agam and Adhyatma is very necessary. We have to balance it. So whatever we are reading, the person who is only into Adhyatma, who is like, oh, Atma can't do anything. I'm a knower. I'm a doer. I'm a knower. I'm not a doer. So Atma can't do anything. Atma khata pita nahi hai. So he will be more into like I can say Nishyabhasi. He don't want to go to temple because he will say, so God is in inside. Why should I go to temple? Everything is happening here. Even God is looking inside, and I'm also looking inside. Why should I go to temple, or why should I help other people? Because one dravya, one substance can't do anything for the other substance. So when one read Agam, and the person who is only reading Agam is only doing theory. So something is happening in our life. So he will say simply, he will say, oh, I can't do anything because Agam says that एक द्रव्य का परिणामन ऐसे ही होता है, ऐसे ही होना था. It was meant to happen like this. So he's just saying theory. He's not actually realizing. If he has realized this, he won't blame anyone. So generally the people, generally the we people who read only Agam and not applying in our day-to-day life, we are just speaking whatever has written in Agam. We are just reading theory, and the actual happinesses and the not coming in our life. The reason is we are only reading Agam. We are not applying in our day-to-day life. The conclusion is we have to balance Agam and Adhyatma. Now, prominence of belief versus knowledge. Now, this is also very important. This PPT is very nice actually. The crux of what if someone wants to understand what is कथन करने की पद्धति. So one who is reading this PPT was by focusing, not like just reading, you will understand how to read Granth. So Drashti Pradhan and Gyan Pradhan, prominence of belief versus knowledge. So Drashti Pradhan and Gyan Pradhan. Again, in a different perspective, certain statement emphasis on the importance of right belief, negating other aspect of in the process. These are Drashti Pradhan statement. Example. Statement like attachment and aversion do not affect me. Means राग द्वेष का मुझ पे कोई भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. मैं सुप्रीम सोल, मैं सुपर पावर हूँ, मैं प्योर सोल हूँ, मुझे राग द्वेष से कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सो दैट इज दृष्टि प्रदान कदर. बट इन एक्चुअली इफ यू विल सी इट, या फर्क तो पड़ता है ना. वो हमें पेन तो होता है राग द्वेष के कारण, बिकॉज वी डोंट लाइक इट, वी हैव अ जेलसी अबाउट पीपल. सो इट इज impacting us. But when you focus on your soul, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. So when this is called Drashti Pradhan Katha. So prominence of knowledge in the other intenses the emphasis is on knowledge. Example, attachment are impure modifications of the soul because karmas are lifeless. Karma jad hote hain, and therefore they cannot be cause attachment because कर्म कैसे हैं, lifeless है, तो जड़ होते हैं. So how it can cause to ourself? The soul is the agent of attachments. इसी का करता धरता है, आत्मा ही करता धरता है. So although this statement may be contradictory, भी हमें ऐसा लगता है contradictory, understanding them from their perspective viewpoint resolves any doubts. So हमें दृष्टि प्रदान और ज्ञान प्रदान. So basically what in simple language, or if I will give you an example, so drashti pradhan and gyan pradhan. If someone is saying something, so we uh, we got to know or we want to buy this mobile. Okay, So what is Gyan Pradhan? So this mobile size and everything. So what is Drashti Pradhan? I want to use it. I will focus on what, or not on the what are the features. Is it worth for me? So that is Drashti Pradhan. We are only focusing on is it worth for me? And what is Gyan Pradhan? The size, color, and price and everything. So uh, if you have given loan to someone and that person have called you that you come to me, I will give you your 5 lakhs rupees tomorrow. Come in the morning. So we went to this that person for in the morning 9 o'clock. We were sitting there, and that person is talking something which is not relevant to that 5 lakhs. He's saying, "Oh, how market is going on. Trump has said that, these, that." So he will. We were sitting till like 10 o'clock for 1 hour. He was just chatting something which is not relevant to 5 lakhs. Still we are listening. Why we are listening? Because in our drashti we are focusing, we are just want that 5 lakhs rupees, nothing else. Whatever he was offering, like he was offering tea, he was offering some snacks. So even we are having the that tea or whatever snacks he has offered, we are having that. But our drashti is on something like on 5 lakhs. Simple. So whenever we are reading some scripture, so I say, or when I read, I keep in mind two things. So whether I'm listening or I'm reading, or if I'm giving lectures, so I do one thing. दो चीजें मुख्य होनी चाहिए. Or I say in simple words, um, uh, वीतरागता की पुष्टि हो या तो हम वैराग्य लेके जाए. So whenever you are listening or whenever you are giving lectures, or whether you are doing swadhyay, two things we have to keep in mind. या तो हम उसमें से वितरागता निकालें, या तो हम उसमें से वैराग्य निकालें. तीसरा कोई चीज आ रहा है, इट मीन्स वी आर नॉट डूइंग स्वाध्याय, वी आर डूइंग समथिंग एल्स. वी आर रीडिंग जस्ट like a newspaper. So what is drashti? What should be in our drashti? So drashti is simple. We have to focus on vitragta and vairagya. So in simple words, and if I say in many lectures that we can't change situation and you can't change yourself. So when I ask audience, how many of you want to change yourself? So everybody raised their hands. So I say simply that you can't change yourself. Even you can't change the situation around you. The only thing you can change is your drashti, your belief, your perspective, the way you look at the things or a situation or a person. So in Hindi, it is simply, I will make it simple. न दृश्य बदलना है, न दृष्टा बदलना है, मात्र दृष्टि बदलनी है. न दृश्य बदलना है, न दृष्टा बदलना है, मात्र दृष्टि बदलनी है. So we have to focus more on drashti pradhan, considering Gyan Pradhan Kathan, because the knowledge we are getting from Agam is very important. Now, Vastu Siddhi and Prayojan Siddhi. And what is that? So learning principles versus applying them. So as previous in the same previous concept, what is Vastusthiti refers to the understanding of principle or theoretical knowledge. So what is happening in theoretical learning? We are acquiring the knowledge. It is about knowing and learning the concept presented in scriptures such as I am the soul and I am merely the knower. मैं आत्मा हूं और मैं केवल ज्ञाता ही हूं. And this is very important to understand, that we have to understand what is vastu sthiti, what are the principle, what are the theoretical knowledge. If we are not taking real knowledge from Agam, then how we will attain to Prayojan Siddhi? How will come to know what is Prayojan? So one has to first read Agam thoroughly. However, this is just intellectual knowledge often recite or memorized without deeper introspection or personal experience. Yeah, in initial stages, we are doing the same thing. Like we are just reading. Even when we went to school, or when we have started some degrees or whatever the theories we were reading, so we first read chapters without knowing what's the meaning of this chapter. So gradually we understand the deeper meaning of those chapters and all. So same here, like vastu sthiti, we need to first understand what is vastu sthiti. So from scriptures, from Agam, we need to first read it. And what is Prayojan Siddhi? The from Agam, whatever theoretical knowledge we have taken, we have to derive what is for me. So whenever we are reading or doing Swadhyay of any granth, we need to first introspect ourselves why I am reading and what is there for me in this granth. So Prayojan Siddhi focuses on the practical application of the knowledge gained through Vastu Siddhi. It emphasizes living by the principle in real life, experiencing self-realization and align one's behavior with spiritual truth. This means embodying the teaching and not just repeating them without sincere practice. So if you are just reading Vastu Siddhi, then you are just repeating whatever has written in Agam. So with if you are reading with Prayojan Siddhi, then you can balance both and you will read from Agam and you will balance your practical learnings too. Okay. So now this is very good example. I mean, I was when I was reading this, it's very nice. Learning about the lamp giving light. So lamp is giving light, it's a vastu siddhi, but lightning the lamp to eliminate darkness is a prayojan siddhi. Beautiful, it is beautifully said. In essence, vastu siddhi is knowing the theory and prayojan siddhi is applying the theory to achieve true spiritual growth and self-experience. Without prayojan siddhi, vastu siddhi remains incomplete. Very nice. In 3 lines, everything has been said. So now, the other method of reading the scriptures. Now, this is very important while we are doing Swadhyay. So, reading scriptures simply means is Swadhyay. So, there are 5 elements: Vachna, Prashna. Vachna means read thoroughly, and this explanation is also very beautiful. One should diligently read scriptures that advocate passionlessness and are free from self contradictions. A sincere effort to understand their meaning is essential. Beautifully said. So it is not just reading, right? It will make you free from many things. A sincere effort to understand the meaning is essential. So reading is not reading, you really want to understand the meaning. Then once you read it thoroughly, then you will have some questions. You will have some doubts. Then you will approach to some knowledgeable individual with a genuine desire to learn. So beautifully said. Then not to check guru or not to check that person is knowing or not, generally desire to learn and politely seek clarification. Politely seek clarification. Now the next step says anupreksha. What is anupreksha? After resolving doubt, one should engage in deep contemplation on the topics that have been read and understood. In Agam, there is one example. Anupreksha means you have like the cow. जो गाय होती है वो कुछ खाती है तो उसको दिन भर what we can say चबाती है. So that is what we have learned or read from Agam. We need to do Anpreksha. Then revise Amnai, whatever we have understood. By doing Anupreksha, we have to repeat or revise. Subject matter is important, memorizing and retention. And the last one is teach. Once you done Swadhyay, uh, then you ask question, then you have to do anupreksha, then amnai, you have to revise and repeat it. Then you can teach, that is called dharmopdesh. After mastering a topic, one should teach it without seeking personal glory. मान के लिए नहीं करना है, just to give knowledge whatever you have understood, solely for the benefits of other, not for there is nothing you can you like you're doing for to just to glorify your teaching that I'm a great speaker, not like that, just to benefit of the others. Yeah, there are other method of reading scriptures. So right now it is time is over. We will continue. Now the one lecture is left. So in the next lecture, we'll complete the remaining 5 techniques, including Swadhyay. So this is 10th one, and there more, I think 5 left. We'll complete that in next lecture. So in next lecture, we'll complete it. Okay, over to you, Parinati.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for making us understand the more ways to read Shastras. Like, literally, no one could ever think that Jainism is not only about having scriptures and all, it is also teaching us how to read those scriptures. And that is the major part that we think we know reading, we have done since nursery, so we assume, but in reality we don't know how to read things, in which context it is said. So in today's lecture, in addition to previous one, you have told in four more ways that we can see it, like to see things from mukhya and gone way, to understand that what is the subject, that to see gold directly rather than seeing it in form of jewelries. That is one example of mukhya and gone. Then second, you told about bhed abhed, like when to see things holistically and when to see it in dravya gun paryaya way, when to see soul as a whole dravya, and when to see dravya as different, as a dravya gun and paryaya. And that is the matter in which we have many gathas in Samyasar, that what to see. Then you told us about drishti pradhan and gyan pradhan. If we see in today's world, everything is gyan pradhan, that increase your knowledge and consume more. Instagram and all the social medias we see, it's just making you more informative, and which is actually doing nothing to your drishti. It is just making your drishti very lazy, and just hiding that this is also a part that you have to work on. A belief system is missing today. So that is also what our acharyas told, to not just read, not to just mug up gathas and all. Instead, read one, like you told about Shiv Bhuti Muniraj. He just knew a sentence, and then he got his whole material, he got his whole happiness. So that's the point. Drishti is the point. Then you told about Vastu Siddhi and Prayojan Siddhi. Vastu Siddhi is about reading the subject, and Prayojan Siddhi is applying it. The photo you have shown of a child seeing a diya, and then who actually using it. So in that way, we just not only learn those big gathas and brag about it, ki I know Samaysar and all, but it is just to apply that single gatha in your life. So this, if we analyze holistically everything, it is just indicating that to work on your drishti more, to get the direct results. In this way, you have very beautifully told us ki when things are said from which perspective, and we have to work on, we have to see things from that perspective only, otherwise earth ka unearth and things could be distorted in very bad manner. So thank you for this. Before ending up the session, I would like to ask from audience if any one of us is having any questions. Bhaiya, I have a question, that if we see like today motivational speaker or the self-help books we read, it's all about changing yourself. You have to be the better version of you to get certain things, to get the success. Everyone is chasing their better version, like in a very good form. This is considered as something elite people do. They are trying to be their better versions themselves rather than chasing materialistic goals. So how do we see from Janagam perspective that what does that better uh, person means?
So again, today whatever we have studied, by the way, this is a very good question. So what motivational speakers will alter, how they can alter your life or how to understand it. So basically, that is Updeshatmak Kathan. And what is Updeshatmak? They are just guiding you. They are not doing anything else. So I will say in a different way. Rather than focusing on motivation, focus on something, derived knowledge, or focus on the techniques which they are giving. Like in simple thing, I will say things happen two times. First in mind, then in reality. Let's say this table. Someone has the carpenter has made in first in his mind, then only it came out in the world. So first it happened in mind. So things happen two times, first in mind and then in reality. So what motivates us, motivational speakers or our acharyas do, first clear from your mind. So one has to be have clarity in your mind. So if it is there is no clarity in mind, how you are going to take proper action? So first, one need to think from clarity. So whatever motivational speakers are saying or our acharyas is saying is the just for the clarity of our thoughts. So once your shraddha is clear, you are clear with your mind, you will have a right direction of thoughts, then you will take the appropriate actions. So your motivation works, yeah, motivation works. So I will say in a different way, rather than focusing on motivations, focus on mind skills. That is the skills. Like if you are in stress, I will say don't do stress. It will harm your health. It's not good. So people are in depression and all things. So this is motivation. So Acharya is not doing motivation over here. They are giving you some skills. For an example, if you have some stress like, oh, I have a burden, I have to do this, I have to do job, I have to cook my food, and I have other stuff to do, so you have so much stress. If I will say don't stress out, do yoga or something like that, no. So what is mind skill is, it is here, whatever is going in your mind, whatever thoughts are there, just drop it, just like this hanky, just drop it, you will feel relaxed. And all the gathas of Samvai says that you are not a body, a body nahi ho. Whatever is going in your mind, you are not a rag wala person, you are not a dvesh wala person. You are different from dravikarm, bhavkarm, and nokarm, and it is all in your head. You are not making food right now, but you are just stressed out because I have to prepare food in the morning. So where is the food? Food is in your head. The preparation is in your head. Right now, it is not happening. So whatever is going in your head, just drop it. So this is called mind skills.
Yeah.
Sorry for the long explanation.
No, no, thank you.
Yeah,
So that is what the better version means to
yeah.
honing the mind skills.
The perspective. The better version is
Let's
not
get the
changing yourself. You are changing the perspective about that situation or a person. That
okay.
is what changes.
Okay. Thank you for this beautiful answer. So before we move to Jinwani Stuti, let me share that
Yeah.
how to access Jeev portal. Can you please make me host? So in this way, we can access to Jeev portal. When you will click the website, you will see the front cover here and all the topics like five sins, seven vices, six essentials you want to learn. You will see all those there. For example, you want to see about six essentials. You are curious, you want to know that uh, what are them, how we can practice it in a daily life. Then you can access it, you can click it and you'll get the whole PDF, all the lectures there. It is similar to any course you join in Coursera or Udemy. You can track your record that till where you have seen and from where you have to continue as per your convenience and get an in-depth knowledge about the topic. In this way, you can learn about Jainagam in very simple form and imply and in your daily life. You can reach to us with following websites and email address in the screen. Would be happy to help you. So I hope you understand how to access Jeev portal and take most out of it. Now let's move to Jinwani Stuti.
निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, सके लिए जिन वाणी को वंदना शतवारी है। वंदना शतवारे. काय सर. बोलो परम पुकारी जिनवाणी माता की जय. सभी को जय जिनेन्द्र.